Hey Merchant Center Mastery peeps. So what I wanted to do today, peeps. Every time I hear peeps, I think of the
Quack.
candy. That's not.
I'm an abomination.
Wow, those are terrible candies. Anyways, what I wanted, and from the brain of ADHD Kirk. So, what I wanted to talk about today was Product Studio. I have never walked through the new Product Studio within Google. I'm excited to try this out. I thought I'd bring you along for the journey. If you remember in our previous Google Merchant Center Next video, this is my ZetaWorks Publishing Merchant Center test account, which someday I may sell something on. But for the time being, like I threw in my book, PPC Ponderings, soon to be updated, by the way, updated and revised. I'm going to be attacking that. But enough random caveats. Let's get into Product Studio. So Product Studio is something Google announced at Google Merchant Center Live, Google Marketing Live. I say Merchant Center too much. They announced this at Google Marketing Live, I believe it was last year, and they're finally starting to roll it out. As far as I've seen, it's only in Merchant Center Next, not in the original Merchant Center. But what this allows you to do is to edit your products with AI. How will that actually end up working? I don't know. We're about to find out. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, it is in products, by the way. So products and Product Studio, you might not have access to this. I don't think this is in every account. But let's just kind of see what happens. Let's go through this together. So we're going to go ahead and select the one product that I have uploaded here, and that is my Ponderings of the PPC Professional book. I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. Now, describe the product. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here, so I'm just going to say a book. Describe the scene. What should we have our book on? Let's have it like, it's really cold up here right now in Billings, Montana. So let's start with that. Let's start with Billings, Montana. In a snowy mountain landscape. Landscape. And enter. Nope. Generate. Oh, sorry. My little image right here. Let's go ahead and say generate scene and see what happens. Wow, there it is. All right. So there you have it, people. Now, you know what? Didn't love that. Let's go ahead and change that to on a beach. On a sandy beach. Okay, I'm tempted. On a sandy ocean beach with a cocktail in hand. Let's see what happens. Up to 40 seconds. Stay tuned. And we're back. All right. With cocktail, that failed on the cocktail part, but we do have the beach. Let's see. In a library. That could work. There we go. We have it in a library in its natural habitat. Now, here's where it does get a little interesting. So, obviously, we're just messing around with, like, my book. But one of the interesting things could be that I'm thinking of, like, seasonal type things. I'm thinking of seasonal type backgrounds. And I'm sure as people get into this and start doing it more, you'll try different things. But maybe some ideas here. Like, I'm a little curious in a Christmas village... In a Christmas village. Let's try that. See what happens. But the idea being that maybe one of the things you do with your products is just have them with different backgrounds based on the season. You could try that. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, frankly, because I think some of this stuff, like, we just don't have an idea of, like, what's going to happen. Let's say in front of a Christmas tree. Because then maybe what you do is you have that as a product in front of a Christmas tree, and then maybe what happens is then in your ad, you have like the perfect Christmas gift for the PPCer in your life, Ponderings of a PPC Professional, soon to be revised and updated. You know, that could be the ad, right? I just think there are some ways that we'll be able to start thinking about this that we haven't really, just because this is a totally new concept of just being able to very, very easily. I mean, obviously people can with time do this. You can apply it to different backgrounds, not just within Google Merchant Center immediately like that. So that's where it's a little bit, interesting of what's going to actually happen. But hopefully this gives you an idea, and then you can actually select it and then say add to Merchant Center, and then it gets added to Merchant Center. So I am very interested to see what happens. And then as we continue here, by the way, so that's more of like the generated scene. I believe then you can actually, I already have the background removed, but this option you would actually select it. If it wasn't white, you could select the background and remove it and just make that white. I might see if we can make that work with another product, because I'd love to see how successful that is. Because again, like let me walk through what that means. Is if your product, this could be a game changer for SMBs, because like if maybe your product image isn't super great and you just have it, and so what you want to do is just remove the background and actually turn your product onto a white background for shopping. Like this will do that for you now in Product Studio. So that's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see what happens with increasing the resolution as well. I'm not quite sure. Like mine might not be. This one's not as helpful. Oh, there's even a slider. This one's not quite as helpful. Well, I think it got a little sharper, but it's like a book. You know what I mean? I don't know if it got sharper at all. It's a book with a very high resolution image anyway. So, and then you'd be able to see just your different edits and stuff too. So all in all, I love this. I love Product Studio. I really, I think that anyone who's watching this with a bigger account that actually has access to maybe photographer and branding and all that isn't going to care about this, which is totally fair. Keep doing your thing. If you're a small business, you're a small e-commerce business with like 6 products, this does to me change the game for what you can do with your products. And I think that's pretty cool. So, hopefully that was helpful for you. I thought it was pretty cool to dig in there and see what Google's working on. A+ from me for cool new AI tech stuff like this. More of Product Studios, Google, please. Less of like the data hiding, all right, in Google Ads. So 2 thumbs way up for me.